Hello everyone, my name is Leidiana Chacon Astorga. Today I'm going to present my project titled Participatory Management Model for the Community Garden of Aromatic Herb in Barranquilla using the P5 approach. This project is part of Phase 4, Dissemination, in the Master Program in Project Management. The main purpose of this presentation is to explain the problem, the objective, the methodology, main result, and the conclusion of the project. The main problem is that community herb garden in Barranquilla have great social, environmental, and productive potential. However, their continuity is limited by informal management, unclear roles, weak monitoring, and depends on a few leaders or external support. The research question is, how can a participatory management model for community herb garden in Barranquilla be designed and implemented based on the P5 standard? The working hypothesis is that the participatory management model based on the P5 standard can strengthen community governance, role distribution, process monitoring, and sustainability. In simple words, the problem is not only the lack of research, the real problem is a management gap. The general logic of this project is to design and implement a participatory management model for community herb garden in Barranquilla based on the P5 standard. The specific objects are three. First, to diagnose the condition of the garden through the P5 dimensions. Second, to propose a participatory model aligned with the P5 standard. Third, to implement the model in the community context. The reference framework is based on 5 important ideas. The first one is the P5 sustainability lens. P5 means people, planet, prosperity, process, and products. People refers to social inclusion, planet refers to environmental care, prosperity refers to local value, process refers to how the work is managed, product refers to useful result of the project, and the second idea is participatory management. This means shared decision, clear roles, agreement, and follow-up. The third idea is urban agroecology with Prometheus, local production, and sustainable practice. The fourth idea is the circular economy through composting, reducing organic waste, and efficient on resources. The methodology of this project for qualitative, applied, descriptive, analytical, and participatory. It was developed in 4 phases. The first phase was the diagnosis. In this phase, the garden was characterized using the P5 dimensions. The second phase was systematization. Here, the information was organized to the categories, finding and management needs. The third phase was the model design. This includes governance, roles, monitoring, and P5 criteria. The fourth phase was implementation. In this phase, the community assessed the model and suggests adjustment. The technical use were document review, semi-structured interviews, participant observation, and participatory workshops. The purpose was to create to create a practical model with the community, not to impose an external structure. The diagnosis showed important results in the each P5 dimensions. In the people dimension, there is a strong participation of women leaders. However, there is also a risk of overload and low participation of young people and men. In the planning dimension, the garden used organic practice and basic compositing, but water management and environmental monitoring need improvement. In the prosperity dimension, the garden supports self-compulsion and help reduce costs. However, commercialization and valued products are still limited. In the process dimension, community practice are already exist, but formal planning, indicator, and monitoring are missing. In the products dimension, aromatic herbs have food, medicinal, and cultural potential. However, product transformation is still low. The proposed model includes several components. There are community governance, shared planning, decision making, role rotation, shared responsibility, knowledge management, circular environment, practice, and product use. The model is aligned with the 5P5 dimension: people, planet, prosperity, process, and product. The validation results were positive. 9 out of 10 participants considered the model relevant. 8 of the 10 considered it applicable, and 10 out of 10 reassured the importance to clear roles. However, house adjustments are necessary. The tools and indicators should be simpler. The language should be cleaner, and the economic dimension should be stronger. And participation should include more young people, men, and new community actors. The first conclusion is that community herb gardens are more than productive space. They are a space for social organization, learning, and sustainable urban practice. The second conclusion is that the main awakenings is not the lack of community interest. The main awakenings is informal management and weak monitoring. The third conclusion is that the P5 standard is useful because it translates sustainability into practical criteria. It helps analyzing people, environment, economy, process, and results. Finally, the project shows that the model is relevant and can be replicated, but it should be implemented gradually with simple tools and inclusive participation. This project was supported by academic and institutional reference related to urban agriculture, participatory management, sustainability garden approach, and the P5 standard. Thank you very much for your attention.